All right, welcome to the episode 11, the Vivy versus To Your Eternity finale sort of episode. We'll have a retrospective after we vote on the final show, but we are down to two shows left, and we're going to discuss episodes 11 of both Vivy and To Your Eternity. And based on that, then we'll sort of have an overview of each show. Like up to this point, we've just discussed the most recent episode, but since there's only two shows left, we'll sort of discuss the shows overall and our perspectives of them up to this point. And then after that, we'll vote on which show will be the winner of Spring 2021 Seasonal Anime Survivor. So to get right into it, we can go alphabetical as we have the whole time and start talking about Fumetsu no Natae or To Your Eternity. Episode 11.
Yes,
Gugu die.
this episode.
or Gugu not necessarily die, but something happened.
Yeah, they just need like a cliffhanger.
Haha,
to
cliffhanger.
cut the tension.
But he's not hanging.
Yeah,
A cliff.
no, he's
Faller.
falling off the cliff.
This is Cliff falling.
I mean, who predicted that was gonna happen? Is there any
Man,
hands up?
no.
No, I
Yeah,
actually
like-
didn't. I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
like.
started happening. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well,
It just came out
no,
of nowhere.
when it happened, I wasn't surprised they did something, but I did not expect it to happen. You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like this kid cannot catch a break. Holy shit.
Yeah, they want us to root for Google even more.
they've totally took this arc in a direction I kept expecting them to like have Rin like hate him, but they didn't do that at all. They instead
No, in fact, Wynn's
instead they
actually
made
on
them
love
like
with him.
each other, and I guess the
And then
goal,
they threw him off a cliff. What the
so,
hell?
so the sad part isn't going to be like their relationship. It's going to be the loss of him, perhaps, or something. I don't know, like because they have to do
Yeah.
like some big shocking thing to affect Fushi, but
yeah.
they
Yeah,
totally
the
went
essence
in a
of
different direction than
stimulation.
I was expecting from the setup. From the setup, I was really expecting like it was going to be Google not being able to stand on his own 2 feet or something happened to him, but no, instead he matured and became great, but then we're going to lose him or something. It was totally,
Yeah, loss of potential.
yeah.
Yeah, he might just. There's a chance he might like actually die. Like he
Yeah,
might
just
be
died.
dead.
Yeah, right here.
And if that's the case, because this was like very obvious foreshadowing, but wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if because they were him and Fushi were literally talking about this a few episodes. Oh, when I die, you'll like turn into me, right? Like to remember me by. And Fushi was like, "Yep." So he's probably gonna die, and then Fushi's gonna turn into him.
And have fire
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, he has his fire combat form.
And he'll get
which,
the new
Yeah,
mask.
fire mask.
yeah, the fighting mask is so cool.
The old man's pretty useful for him.
I do like that thing's got. It's crazy though, because that thing's gonna be like solid rock, because you could hear like rock grindy sounds whenever Gugu was
Yeah,
walking around this episode.
Google's fit though. He can carry that stone mask no problem.
I don't care who you
Oh,
are. That
yeah.
wouldn't be easy to carry. Like
Gugu is like hella strong. Damn boy.
Yeah, he looks pretty thick for a 16-year-old.
Yeah. He's still short though.
Are
Yeah.
RC's only 16? I thought he might be like older than Ren, but maybe not.
I don't
Yeah, I'm
think it's
just thinking they're
specified,
roughly
but-
around the same age.
I thought he might be like
Well,
17. Or
He might have
18.
been younger, because didn't the in the narration last episode, right before the episode ended, didn't
I mean, he looks like he could be 16, 17, or 18. One of those three ages
Didn't-
is what I would guess.
yeah, didn't like Cloak God Alien Man say that like 4 years had passed?
Yeah, that's what he said.
And how old was
I don't
Gugu
remember how old he
before?
was
Like
in the-
10 or 12?
I would think 13 or 14. Well, no, I think I would say at least 11. Eldest would be 13. But he doesn't.
So it's this. It's what we're saying. He's either 16 or 17, basically.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But all right, well, yeah, he grew up to be an admirable young man and then immediately died.
It was a good
Oops.
setup. The whole like their discussion at the end of the episode was nice. I like that little
Yeah,
emotional
she
moment
finally
build-up
knew.
setup. And,
And of course, literal seconds after she realizes the ground breaks and he just dies. Like,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
death returned.
and then apparently the the only way I could see him surviving this is at the same time. Apparently, the Knockers have showed up to the this party, and Fushi's gonna have to fight them, and maybe Gugu will like not die as part of our fight sequence,
Yeah, I don't know,
but
or
or maybe
maybe
they
he'll
capture
already
him or
be
something.
dead
But
and absorb him to win the fight as a dramatic moment or something.
oh god, that would be like so sad, but like so like narratively satisfying if
Yeah, I
Gugu
can picture
Gugu
it in my
dies
head.
and Fushi's forced to turn into him in order to win this fight next episode. Yeah, the next episode is like very clear, laid out in front of me. Like, yeah, and I feel bad
The
because
whole
it's
arranged
really
marriage
this
thing
is
was
really sad.
interesting. I don't know. Like, I
Yeah,
like that it was just a normal dude, and it wasn't like they didn't make
Yeah, he
over.
wasn't
yeah,
bad.
not
They
some
didn't make
bad.
Or
him
anything,
like
but
usually a lot of times people will play that situation in a dumb way where it's like they make the dude intentionally bad and disgusting. No, but like it's just a random dude, and the problem is it's like just the circumstances you don't know him.
she just didn't even know him.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
the
he's
issue.
not bad.
I hate
He's
when
just
like
some guy.
stories will have that, but then they make the guy like intentionally just ridiculously like
Yeah, over
disgusting.
the top.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't. You don't need it because like just the scenario by itself is enough to be disconcerting, right?
Yeah,
It's
being married to someone you don't know is
yeah.
like that. Yeah, like that is very. Do we need to? Is this official stance of the podcast? We are against arranged marriages.
Yeah, it's our official stance.
There we go. Boom. We did it.
We
We
are political.
solved it. We did it,
Take
gang.
that, India.
Oh no.
So,
We're,
what did you think about what Fushi's creator says about his philosophy on daily human life being unstimulating? Because it's just a repetition of habits
That
and daily
is an
experiences.
interesting statement to make, and I can especially see like, the setting of the show is like,
People living their lives to the best of their ability.
I was gonna say like just the time period is more like fantasy medieval-y times ish,
I would
kind of,
say
sort
more
of, roughly.
ancient. I would say
Yeah, but like,
ancient post-agricultural.
yeah, well, you know what I mean, but like that time period, day-to-day life was even more boring than it is now. So I can see his creator's point of like, yeah, humans don't live like super exciting lives. They just have occasional super exciting moments. And if you're going to stay here for 4 years, you're not going to get any more out of it than like a single exciting day. And
Exactly.
so that's an interesting
I honestly feel like the statement's
philosophical
just
point
there
brought
to
up.
trigger audience reaction and like make you want to be on Team Human and be like, nah, Team Human, we cool, we do lots of exciting,
Well,
life
I
is
mean, what
great.
else is there to defend?
Well,
Like, I want to have cool, exciting moments
so,
every
so, so,
day if I can.
so I feel like that's literally just a statement that's kind of like to trigger audience reaction into thinking like, oh no, human. It's because I feel like it's a build up to make a point that no, human life does have a lot in it that's valuable, and I feel like it's almost just like an obvious. I mean, I'm totally wrong about everything I guessed with Rin, so I could easily be just as wrong about this too. But I feel like it's like a setup to like emphasize the importance of little things in human life. It's more of just like a ploy to beg the question to the audience to make them think, huh? I don't know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well,
I think
it could also be that Fushi could develop his own philosophy to be the opposite, that human daily life is meaningful.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like
every
I
little
feel
bit of
like that you're just
stimulation is
having
worth
that
it.
guy as a character as a device to make that statement to like trigger the audience thought, and Fushi as a representative of the audience thought and value of human life to make a case for like everyday valuable things in human life, and that is kind of the point of the story. Maybe that's sort of what that makes me think it's going for.
It's the first time I ever heard like a narrative, not troll, but I think like thinking from the author's perspective, thinking, what can I make this character say that would make the audience think? That's what I thought of the first time.
Well, I think it's.
and
I mean, if they are doing that, for me, it felt like. I mean, not forced or bad, but it seems like almost too. Well, given what they've shown so far as like the importance, like how valuable and stimulating, like all of the characters thus far in their daily struggles were, like what's different now. Like it's almost like contradictory for them to even make that statement. That's why it seems off to me.
Well, and to be fair, Hooded Man, does he have a name? What do we call him?
Wait, the
I
Sith
don't.
Lord?
I don't
Yeah.
know, but this dude's just, he's
Sith
some
Lord.
sort of celestial being. He's clearly operating
Yeah,
on a
he's
whole
like the
nother level
Watcher from
above,
the Marvel universe.
like he's operating on a whole nother level above humans. So like I can see how he would find the everyday lives of humans like boring and not as valuable because he's like, he's just like a higher dimensional being or something. Like I'm sure we look at like what ants are doing on a day-to-day business basis is like boring and repetitive, and we can't get in the mindset of like enjoying that, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
So I think this is more just like the creator is out of touch with humanity because he's not one, and his probably the way he like experiences the universe and time itself is different in a way that like who knows? He's some sort of weird magic alien man, and like expecting him to relate to like humanity is maybe asking a bit much. So on one hand, like I don't agree with the statement entirely, but on the other hand, I can see like why he thinks that.
Yeah.
Especially if he's on like a mission to like save the world or something, and Fushi's
Well,
just
for
been fucking
me,
around for
it's
4 years.
definitely plausible narrative wise. But it just seems like just a statement that's made solely to trigger the reaction to like, no, humanity's life is cool and there is stuff value. I feel like it's, for me, it feels so intentional just to make you think that I mean, it's fine. I just like, I'm not even thinking about it like whether it makes sense for the dude to say it. It just seems like a trigger statement. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for him to say it from what we seen him say so far.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
because
totally.
they're on a mission.
It's not out
I
of
think he's
character.
a
It's
little
just
fuzzy.
I
Yeah,
hear it at all, and I'm like, oh, they want me to think, yay, no, Team Human, that bad. Uh,
and
no, I'm all about like Team Human, but I'm just saying it. It seemed like it was just done narratively to make a reaction,
yeah.
Hmm.
to make
I
a
am a little
point, just to
fuzzy.
make a
What
point, not a
exactly
reaction as much
is
as a point, kind of, or to build up
what
the basis.
what exactly is the mission that they're supposed to be on? Have they like really established that? Like, what's
Just
their end goal?
I think it's
gather
just for Fuji
information and
to build up
stimulus or
enough,
something.
enough stimulation to beat. What were they called again?
I don't know.
Knockers.
Knockers. Yeah, for Fuji to defeat the Knockers, he needs more stimulation and experience, and to build up enough of a power set to defeat them. And
Like
how can he
is
defeat them? That's the question. We don't
I
know.
th- like is the hooded man just trying to get him to get like battle forms or something like
Yeah, I
that?
think he is.
And he's just kind of like impatient and frustrated because the only way he can collect a new form is through like an emotional connection. So like he's like I think the hooded man is taking like a very like practical analytical approach to this, but the entire process is based on emotional development, and that's something that
Yeah, it
is
sounds like it's gonna
holding him
be
back,
more.
and that's why he's like impatient and kind of looking at his watch like, come on, Fushi, we got work to do, but that's not how this works. So
Yeah, Fushi just wants to be like all the other humans. He's literally
mhm.
just not transforming or use any special powers at all during the last 4 years.
Yeah, and he started growing older, which is not something I thought we'd see. Gonna be weird when he reverts back.
Yeah, so we'll revert back and then go back to the human form and be young again.
Exactly, and then he's gonna have to go through puberty how many more times?
Yeah, I wonder if he'll
Oof.
stay in any form for a long. Will he be adult March through in an arc where he just like stays March 20 years?
I doubt that. Not unless he had a good
Didn't we?
reason
I don't
to,
know. In the
but
opening, there was like an adult-looking March, but it might have just been
Yeah,
imagination.
that was
Or her
just a
dream.
flashback.
that was a
Or what would be like
flashback
if she actually
from
lived through.
after she died. There's the So they did this with the boy. After he died, he like went to heaven, and he got to see all his friends, and he had like his perfect afterlife. And then when March died, she went to heaven, and she was an adult. She was a grown up, just like she always wanted, and she had
Yeah, and
kids, and she was
Okay,
with
yeah,
all her family.
so we don't
So
get to see Fushi age like 20 years as
so I
one
have to
person.
wonder, is that where the name of the show comes from? Because every time so far we've had two human characters die that Fushi has absorbed, and each of the two of them kind of went off to their eternity, to like their whatever their version of heaven
Well,
was
I mean, it's really
in their
to
mind.
you the immortal or undying Fumetsu. So it's really like to. I mean, it could be to Fushi himself, and it's
Hmm.
all the memories and stuff he's absorbing, all of the things, the thoughts and feelings to him. That's how like
Yeah.
sort of think about it. But
I feel like the title's probably purposely made to have multiple interpretations. So that was my take on it, but I can totally see yours as well.
well, to
And
your
maybe it's a
eternity
combination of the
is
two.
different because it's like, I mean, Fumetsu no Anata is saying like you, the immortal or indestructible, and to that. So it's just saying whatever to that, the immortal thing, and I that implicit whatever is, I would assume, like thoughts, feelings, experiences, all of
Maybe
that.
it's like referencing the way he quote unquote immortalizes
Yes,
his
that.
friends when he becomes
So
them.
all of that stuff to him or to the
Yeah.
immortal being, or yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably like all linked together, but that's very cool. Did anything else big happen this episode?
No.
They had the party and he
mm,
fell off the
oh
cliff.
yeah, Gugu met his older brother, and Gugu's
Oh,
like, I
right.
reject you. I have grown up, and I moved past you. I don't need you anymore.
Good for him. That's his
Yeah,
brother does not deserve forgiveness. He's not owed it.
amen.
Like it's good that he's remorseful, but that doesn't make everything right. So,
Yep. So
and
overall
it's too late
thoughts
for him
on
to
the
redeem
show
himself because his
as
brother
in
just fell off
general.
a cliff.
What do you think
The
the
show in
strengths
general,
of this show, weaknesses? How do you feel about it overall?
I
I
mean,
say the big strength is the setting. I like that it's more of an has a more ancient vibe than more of a medieval vibe. It makes the world more unpredictable to me.
I think the strength is absolutely the like the characters and the big emotional moments that because it's just a story about like meeting new friends and then eventually losing those friends and carrying on because it's three times now he's like become best friends with somebody new and then they died, and that's and but the show, like, they're people, real characters, and they take their time like developing them and making you care about them, and like it's not just like, oh, and then they were friends, like they like off screen, like you see it happening, and that's like that's it's very visceral in a way because it's like getting to see these like real relationships between these characters, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
would
I
agree with
think more
this
shows need to do that.
major strength. I'm kind of on the same page as that, where it's like the ability to sort of emphasize the importance and strength and intensity of like human experience and emotional experiences that you have through things that can happen. So it's like through lots of sub examples, I think it's emphasizing an overall narrative point of just sort of like the beauty in human experience and emotion and all of that. Like it's building,
Yeah.
and it's building up to that with multiple small examples through small arcs where you build up relationships and stuff to some culminating point that makes meant to have some large emotional impact, and then Fushi, our protagonist, absorbs that, and so having it happen over and over again, I think it's like building up a more larger narrative of just almost like just like the beauty of human experience and stuff. So I
Exactly.
think the
I,
macro narrative is the strength of the show. Not, I think it can falter within some of the arcs, and but overall, what it's doing is good and interesting.
yeah, I would say I would totally agree that like I feel like the thesis of this entire show is just an outsider's perspective on the human experience.
Hmm.
Kind
And
of
the
like,
beauty of life, both the positive and the negative.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, we can move into talking about Vivy 11, episode 11. Little change of pace.
Wow, this
Mm,
episode, I was not
yeah.
expecting it to start out the way it did.
Yeah, it
Oh,
really kind of shook me for a
It was
loop.
very
I
abrupt.
felt like I was actually there, and I was panicking, and I felt like
yeah,
I was emotionally shook.
I
this,
like the ball dudes that smash into the people's heads. Those are
Ew, yeah, I
yeah.
could. Oh,
those are like
I'm
I don't know. I really like those. That one's like, I mean, all of them are terrifying, but that one was particularly like they just like
Yeah, and people just getting run over by cars in the street, and
yeah, yeah.
whoever worked on the sound production as a whole need to get a raise, because that was
oh
fire.
yeah, well, this show's all about the music and all about the
This show's about every. I
and
think this show is like hitting on every level,
yeah,
kind of.
but it like narratively it's about music, and I was heavily unnerved by the creepy singing of all these AIs in the street as they just like beat
Yeah,
people's
that
heads in with
adds to emotional
crowbars.
impact.
Good God, like I felt like panic watching this. Like, oh God, the world is end. Like we're being like murdered in the street. Ugh. This
Yeah,
is like it was uncomfortable in all the right
y-
ways for like the world is ending. You
For
should
me,
be
like just to
scared right
strike,
now.
I
just the
wouldn't.
difference of like once you turn that switch, how overpowering the AIs were compared to humans.
I I wouldn't think like the world is ending. I would think like society is crumbling down, and this is like the aftermath. This is like if Rome got sacked by barbarians, and we're witnessing the fall of a civilization.
For me, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
how
like
fast, abrupt, and turn switch it was, though. Like because you have all these functioning AIs doing fine and stuff, and then instantly, oh wait, they have the ability and power just to instantly kill everybody, and it's just like the how fast it happens and how
why would you ever build a society filled with robots that are like physically superior to us in every way and could
Yeah,
easily kill us all if they wanted.
yeah. Don't
Maybe
give any equal rights. Ew, it's gonna be just tragic for
team
all of us.
human, team human, always team human, right?
Team
Always Team
Human.
Human.
Yeah. So yeah, the opening in this episode was masterful in the way that the opening to episode one, what like this show, I've never seen like a robot apocalypse done at nearly as well as this. Like this was scary. Like I was
Yeah,
legit,
legitimately scary.
like not like
Like,
jump scare scared, like on a deep in my core, like
yeah, fear, panic.
like
Like
yeah,
like flight, or what was the word? Flight or fight. Like you
yeah,
just want to just hold yourself in the street. Like, ugh.
like
And,
this,
and like
yeah,
even
Gut
like
this,
once they
reaction.
escape one of the things, you're like, oh yeah, there's also cars, or oh, there's also these little cameras flying
yeah,
everywhere.
it's like
It's all of
it's
them.
like
It's not just
it's everything. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the world is filled with robots and all of them will kill you. Any
Hmm.
of them. There's nowhere you can run. It would be like if you flipped a switch and half of the human population right now, chosen at random, just started murdering the other half,
Hmm. Because it's
and
already
you would
integrated
have to
everywhere
be
in
killed.
society.
Yeah,
Exactly, like
and
that.
the
Just that
AI.
level of terror.
Yeah, the AI got advantage because the humans were just caught so off guard.
Because at this point, the AIs are basically humans, just enhanced humans.
Well, it depends on
That's
the
a
ones.
nightmare on its own.
They're all very different. You actually have lots of large variety of ones that are sort of different levels of doing different things. So that's what's interesting about it. Like you have so many different functions of AIs. So there are the more human ones and then there's the less human ones, but they're all
Yeah.
like gonna kill you.
Yeah, they're all like anywhere there are machines, you will be murdered by them. That is very scary. So, but Vivi's safe, and some of the others are safe.
And so now you have I forgot his name, Samson or something. Samson? That's his
Are
name.
you referring to the doctor?
Yeah, Samson or something.
Yeah, we could just call him the doctor, because as Matsumoto says, he's been used to calling himself like that for so long that he rather just other people call him Matsumoto and refer to his creator as the doctor.
Okay. Yeah, so the doctor, like, he was. It's interesting, like, he's like, oh no, this is already. I've already sent someone back now, and it's still. It's,
Yeah, just I felt so bad because like when he finds out that like they already did the Singularity Project and it failed, that was a twist in the show I didn't expect. Oh yeah, the Singularity Project just fails. They just fail to stop
Yeah,
the robot apocalypse.
yeah.
we
I
were
didn't.
just so dumb. How could this
Yeah, when
happen?
this started, I'm like, is this another alternate future? But like, no, this is our timeline. Like this is happening. We failed to prevent the robot apocalypse. That's an interesting twist from the
But it's
show, and
cool
I'm
because you. It turns out all of the setup is more about introducing the Toak people. That's it was like
yeah, and
it
like
was like a
yeah,
ploy
setting up the world
just to
and
set up history about them and other things, which is
it's like
cool.
showing you how did we get here,
So
you know?
what I like about that writing wise is like you as the viewer you think you're doing one thing, but really you're just setting up a bunch of other things, and the thing you think you're doing isn't going to work. And it's cool. It's like, but all that setup still matters in other ways, and learning all these characters like in the Toak organization and and they bring them back with like Elizabeth now as and I like she's funny. I like her. She's just like
Yeah, and like she's not her exactly, but like pretty close.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
her
and I
arguing
think
with
I think
Matsumoto. That was funny. Like I don't know,
I
she had
think
like a
we
funny facial
know.
expression.
Yeah, this reminds me that there's definitely something very special about the Sunrise arc now in retrospect, because it set up Elizabeth for this point in time.
Yeah, like some of the stuff that happened and like some of the less major characters we've met along the way have turned back up and become like important players, and that's very cool.
And we
Um,
finally get the archive as like the big reveal of
yeah, like
the
Like
the
place
it's
we
whole
like
should.
tower.
what? It is amazing. Well, amazing that is that plot twist is
Yeah, they're
amazing.
gonna. What's the going on? She's gonna crash a satellite into the Earth.
Yeah,
Like
but
I assume
but
the
only in
No,
one
it's
satellite.
just
area
like Kyo
though.
from Kyo's counterattack.
So I wonder like
Yeah,
why
like
it's what's is it mostly the most populated area? I wonder what's the significance of the area that it's
I
crashing
think it's
into.
the city that Neoland is in, which is
Okay.
they never specify where on the planet that is, but it's got to be somewhere in a big city.
Hmm.
So it's a big city
Yeah,
that
I wonder.
has
I just
this
wonder because it's like
amusement park in it, and
obviously
they're gonna.
it just is like for like a what's the significance of it? Because if they're just trying to kill humans, why a satellite and why the specific area they choose? Or is it the idea of like is this the kind of thing where it crashes and it creates some cloud that makes some gases or
Yeah, I think they're trying
Yeah,
to
that
do a
blocks out the
mass
sun,
extinction
and
event.
that kind
yeah,
of
like
thing?
how big is the satellite? Damn, like that's the one thing I couldn't get a sense of scale on it, because if it's like, because like they crashed the Sunrise, and that was a big ass like space hotel, and it
Yeah, and that didn't like block out the
wouldn't have
sun.
caused a natural
So is this
disaster.
a tactical strike on a specific populated area, or is it,
Maybe
or is it
maybe they
Oh,
just?
found the
maybe it's just morale. It's to produce a morale effect on the
I
humans.
wonder.
maybe yeah, or maybe they're like they found the Toke headquarters and they haven't said anything yet, and they're just gonna like
Yeah, that might
launch
be
a
that.
satellite at them, or some other important location. They're gonna just like destroy it by dropping a satellite on it. But yeah, because that was, a lot of the episode was just like save Toke from a couple AIs so they can run away, and we like regroup and talk about what's going on. But as soon as that like those screens started
I
popping
like
up,
how the
like
anti
attention
AI group
everyone.
is now a moderate coexist with AI group. It's like what?
Yeah, what the heck? That just came out of nowhere, and
Well,
that
I
was
didn't
Well, I
just
come
mean,
out
it
of
makes
nowhere. It
sense.
came
Like,
out
but
of
it's just ironic. It's like I mean, once they
it
explain
came out
why.
of 100 years of like plot. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
it's
sense
it,
what
def-
they're
it definitely
saying.
it's not like bad plot wise. It's just funny. It's like oh, that's kind of funny that they started this and now they're like
yeah.
after all
They're
this
the
Like
time.
only
not all
good moderates.
hashtag not all AIs.
Not all
Yeah.
AIs. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Just don't.
Oh,
This is why you
man.
don't update your applications.
Yeah, you don't want them spying on you.
Because
I-
your phone will like kill you somehow. It'll like I don't know, like
just don't update
vibrate
your
till it falls off the
applications,
shelf and
and your
like hits
phone
you in
won't
the.
kill you. Yeah, that's the solution.
Hashtag
Yeah,
we
so-
hate Windows 11.
Is Windows 11 out already? Is that right?
I think so. That's what I've been hearing.
Oh,
Windows 11 is the operating system Vivy runs on.
It all makes sense now.
It
yeah.
all
As
makes
to why
sense
they
Once you
now.
developed the
update to
game.
Windows 11, your computer will kill you. It's just.
Yes. But yeah, it's when those screens start popping up everywhere. It's like attention AIs, evacuate because we're gonna drop a
Yeah, that's my
gonna
confusion.
drop a
It's like, so
satellite.
is it a tactical blast in a specific area that's highly populated or strategic?
It's got to be that, and they're just telling all the AIs to get the hell out of Dodge because, like, okay, you can stop killing humans. We're gonna like drop a satellite on their heads and murder them all.
Yeah, but are all
So
the
you all
humans
go out and survive.
co-located in the same place? That's what I'm confused about here. If it's
I don't know. I assume they're just either they found the Toke headquarters and they're gonna nuke it from space, or they found like a large population center of humans
yeah,
and they're gonna nuke it from space.
Mhm.
But yeah, just like when that scene when the air messages start popping up and the emergency sirens are going off and they start playing this creepy music, that brought me right back to the beginning of the episode where I'm just like scared and unsettled. And God, the music in the show is so masterful, and this episode was no exception.
And also all the action's still good. It's cool fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah! She was like karate kick flipping around and killed like Matsumoto kicks him. He's a little clumsy. Did you see him just like hopping up and down on one of them?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
he's not-
Matsumoto doing that.
Yeah, he's kind of a goober still, but like
Yeah.
he can kick some ass.
He's a goober, but
if
he's just a bunch of cubes. He's just cubics.
yeah, I
No.
know.
So, what do you... Oh, yeah. I just want to just
I like
ask
the
a
teddy
quick
bear
question.
form, honestly. Teddy bear form was the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
teddy
but,
form's
like-
cute.
But like I like squares.
Well, yeah, the squares
They
are
are
definitely more
very-
effective. They can do all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff.
He turned into a motorcycle that one time. That was
Yeah,
so
motorcycle,
rad.
scooter. He is like, he's done like, oh, and the fight with AI war game battle and whatever with Ophelia, whatever was going on with that. Or not
Yeah.
Antonio, yeah.
I was a little surprised he hasn't given himself like a humanoid form yet. I guess he just likes being a cube.
Yeah,
He must find
Yeah.
it more tactically useful,
it's cool.
So,
or maybe it takes less power.
yeah. What do you think about Yugo's Kakutani's final words to Elizabeth? Did you find them meaningful at all?
Didn't he just told her to
Um,
protect people or something? I forget exactly what it was.
I think it's that to an effect. And I remember, I don't know, I think like he said at the end, what was it again? Like, I have no right to say anything to you. And then it just,
Mm,
I forget exactly what he said. I just know he told her to protect people, which gave her purpose. So she actually now,
I don't remember precisely, but
yeah. And I like
I'll
the
just say
flashbacks of
that-
like when she asked like what was the last thing. What was the older Toak guy? I forget his name. But like Elizabeth asking what was the last thing he said, and he's like, she wouldn't know. She's just trash AI that wouldn't obey. And then I forget what Vivy said back to her, but to like make it not as bad.
yeah, these girls quit fighting. The
Well, she
world
was-
is ending around you. We don't have time for
They
this right
weren't
now.
fighting. She was just like asking about like how she what she said before she died or whatever, like the original Elizabeth model. But she was a little like salty when she heard, "Oh, so I fought you, and you're here, and I'm not. So I guess you won."
Yeah.
the Vivy's more powerful.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
Matsumoto electrocuted her. Vivy didn't win that fight by herself. Remember?
Yeah, it was like a double team.
It was like basically like a draw-ish kind of thing, and Elizabeth might have
Yeah,
had
because
it.
it wasn't that. Didn't he upload the virus into her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the virus he uploaded into her. And that like screwed her up so she couldn't like keep up with the fight. Otherwise she might have won.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty close. So
God,
like,
that was a good fight.
yeah, it wasn't even. Like, what's cool about it is like it's literally like a 1 minute clip, but it's so good that it's like it's
Yeah,
just really well animated, really well done. Music dropped in at the perfect time.
oh
The
yeah.
the main score. Uh,
Do we want to take this opportunity to transition into talking about the whole show
yeah,
now?
yeah, we can talk
And
about
Yeah,
the.
perfect timing.
yeah, because that's so much in this show nails it like on so many different parts. The action, it's so good, so well choreographed, so well shot. It kicks ass. It's super cool.
Yeah,
The music, absolutely stunning every single time. And I absolutely love that it is not only like part of the episode, but like plot relevant. Like making like it I know that it took people a sec to realize this is not like a idol show, but like making all of the main characters and all the main AIs idols and like having that be part of the
what's
plot
that?
was
All it's like two,
smart.
but still, but yeah, it's still cool.
Yeah, that's really smart because then the music is like diegetic and like plot important
Yep.
and like part of it.
Watch Sympho Gear. No. That's
The
a bit.
animation of the show, it's just like it always looks, especially the close-up shots where you like really see the like Vivy and the other AIs close up, and it's like okay, yeah, they're very clearly not human. They
Mhm.
they don't look quite human, especially in the eyes. They've got those like camera lens eyes, which is odd but like very cool. Yeah, this show just does everything right.
Yeah.
It's like a technical masterpiece.
Yeah, it's kind of like the AI itself. It does everything so well. It kind of like unsettles me. It's like
Really?
at an odd number, yeah. And I just don't know why I'm just not emotionally invested in it. I don't deny that it is such a technical marvel, especially for a weekly anime at this day and age where there's so much overproduction in the anime industry.
I
I'm sure they
I'm
spent a
I don't
long
think
time
the
getting ready
average
for this
yeah.
one.
quality is that
I'm
much
more I'm
worse,
more
honestly. Uh,
well,
or
I'm just saying that I'm more interested in hearing about behind the scenes rather than on the scenes. If you catch my drift.
Oh, like how it was made versus like, and I'm sure this is going to be case study for like
well, Wit
how
Studio
to
is just
make a
excellent. Like
technically good.
anything
Yeah,
by this studio, just watch.
Wait,
Like honestly,
which
this.
studio made it?
Yeah, I mean, Wit Studio. Even their shows that like the plot isn't good, they look amazing. So I would like.
I don't know what studio made made Vivy. Who made it?
It's Wit Studio. That's the
Which
reason that
studio?
Wit. You don't know Wit Studio? They did all of like
I know
Attack.
which studio. I know which studio, but it just took me a second to register it.
Yeah, like they did all of the up until the last all the seasons except the last of Attack on Titan. They did Cabaneri, the Iron Fortress. I forget the other things, but like all the shows I've watched, they did looked amazing. And animation wise,
yeah, they're really good with action, which is
so
exactly what we needed
yeah,
here.
every season of Attack
Yeah.
on Titan that you've seen was done by Wit Studio. So
I will to JNES's point, I will concede that the one thing this show's a little weak on is the emotional moments don't hit nearly as hard in this one, and like you're not nearly as invested in the characters really.
yeah, I would
A little
say
bit, a
except
little bit
for the
Vivi
Sunrise
slash
arc, the
Diva,
other
and
ones. I would say some of the
yeah,
other
like it
arcs were
was,
weaker. I liked the Sunrise
yeah,
arc.
like the characters are kind of weak. That's all. I feel like that's the show's only like real flaw.
For
Yeah.
me, the biggest flaw was I thought I thought Antonio Ophelia arc was cheesy. I thought Diva was cool. That character, her like,
I love Diva. I love the fact that Vivi and Diva are two different
yeah,
characters,
but
and
honestly, the whole
they're so different.
Antonio is just corny. I don't know. That was the main thing.
I know, but it got us a great fight scene, and
Yeah, yeah, but like it was like
and it
Definitely
gave
love
us
a great
Diva.
so
fight
simultaneous. That was probably like the best fight scene, that or the Elizabeth one, and but it was like but the episode was just, I don't know, I just thought Antonio was the cheesiest part, whereas like I thought like even the Grace thing was kind of cheesy, but it was fine, like the wife owning the like being the
Yeah,
island.
this show can be a little hammy sometimes. I feel like with like the plot points of these historical AI moments, but
Mm-hmm. But
when it's like just dealing with the Singularity Project like that and like being serious, that's when it's at its best.
yeah,
Um, like I still remember that second episode with the
the
escape from the building.
skyscrapers like running on this, like there's just so many.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, that was like
And it wasn't like that's when the like their the um the historical moments they were trying to prevent were not as like because yeah they were a little bit corny like oh yeah the first time an AI committed suicide, the first time an AI married a human, like that's a little like or this seemed a little, the first one seemed a little more grounded of, oh yeah, some person in Congress tries to pull up a bill for AI rights and then he gets killed and becomes a martyr and so it goes through. So I can see how that's like I was expecting the show to focus more on like little things like that than like trying to prevent these big historical
yeah.
moments. Like I figured the Singularity Project was going to be more subtle,
Oh, I mean,
but
I thought it's about what I expected, honestly. But I liked overall. I mean, my only weakness is I thought the Antonio arc was a little silly, or like not the whole arc. I
yeah,
like Diva, but I just thought Antonio that like oh the
you just
big
don't like Antonio.
yeah Antonio. Well, just it's cheesy, like where it's like oh I'm the spotlight for the idol. I'm gonna take her over because I'm jealous or whatever. I don't know that not the character, but just
Yeah,
that scenario was cheesy to me.
yeah, I know what you mean.
But the rest was fine for me. It was really just that one.
Hmm.
Yep. Is anything else we're missing out on?
No, we can go
No,
ahead and make our choices. I'll just go first. I vote Vivy.
I vote for To Your Eternity, and I know which one you're gonna vote for.
I'm voting Vivy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
So we got a 2-for-1. Vivy is the winner of seasonal anime Survivor. We
I
can
Well
wish I had a.
done.
I wish I had a popper so I could just pop one off.
we have the yeah we need the air horns for honk honk for Vivy the winner.
We did it. I will say though, our contestants for this show, we had some real champs in here. Um, honestly, I haven't watched a ton of seasonal anime, but I'm so glad I participated in this show this time because the spring 2021 season has been really good and loaded with a ton of great shows. I would have been happy with like 6 of these being our winner,
Yeah, I would have
but
taken either of these 86, Shadow's House, Tokyo Revengers, Hio Hero, Nagatoro. That's 7, I think. That I would have been fine with any of those.
yeah, so many bangers this season. I'm so glad that it wasn't just bad shows getting voted off till the final 2. It was difficult, and I am satisfied with our work here, but
Yep.
I am glad that I get to experience so many wonderful shows with all of you.
I can't wait until Anime Survivor is officially finished so that I can marathon all these shows in a single day.
Yes,
It's
to
gonna
our
be so much
listeners,
fun.
I have purposely stopped watching any show that's been voted off, so I'm not caught up. And when we're done, I'm going to catch up on every single one of these shows that's been voted off
Well, that's
in
not
one big
not
marathon
Koito
session.
Yobu ni Wakimochi wa Urue.
Yeah, that
Any
show
I
belongs
cared
to
about.
Jonathan.
That show
Not all
deserved
of
to be
them.
voted off. Okay.
Yes, a few of them were not interesting.
Yeah, some of them were
I
pretty
don't think I'll
bad.
be revisiting that or Godzilla. But there was some good stuff in here, and I want to know how they all finish. But next week we will be watching
well,
the next episode
we'll
of
finish
Wait,
Vivy because there's
yeah,
only
we
2
can
more
finish
episodes.
maybe 2
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, we'll watch the
Yeah.
last 2 episodes of Vivy, and we'll just do an overall discussion of the show, how it turned out, and yeah, because it's already
Excellent.
aired
Well,
already.
right. We were waiting for To Your Eternity. That was the one that was lagging behind.
Yeah, we're just
Perfect. Well,
yep.
So next week we will be watching episodes 12 and 13 of Vivy, finishing the season, sharing our thoughts, and concluding Seasonal Anime Survivor.
But the winner is
You all have a good
Vivy.
week.
Yeah, it's been an
Goodbye,
honor serving with
everybody.
you all. Good ciao.